guys, this is Andy from underdogchance.com and welcome back to my NBA betting model projections. Yesterday I had one qualified bet, Detroit against Milwaukee, I think. We can check it. So yesterday Milwaukee, Detroit plus 12, it was a winning bet. And there were two more potentially good bets, but I was late, I couldn't catch it. But if you watch my video and if you watch my comments, yesterday, Charlotte, I think, over would be a bet, and Boston Celtics against Dallas Mavericks minus 3.5. That would be also, I think, a bet. But at that time, when I was making projections, I didn't know if LaMelo Ball and Holiday will play for their teams. At the end, they both played, I think, and I think that would be qualified bets. So if you took those bets as well, it was even better. So it would be 3-0 yesterday. But anyway, I'm very satisfied so far. So step by step, 56 wins, 48 losses, profit 4.31, yield plus 4.12%, and what is even best accomplishment, positive closing line value numbers, of course. And my goal is 15 units this season. If you watch my other video with NHL, I have the goal 20 units, but exit minus 30, I think. But I don't use same bankrolls for same sports because I don't have the same edge in the markets. For example, NHL is more as a challenge. I do this with my spreadsheet, and I try to find the best way to beat NHL market. But other sports like baseball, which is my main sport, of course, there is much more focus with the markets where I have the edge. So when people ask me, should they have the same bankroll for same sports? I don't have, and I don't recommend to have the same bankroll. There are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, if you bet, let's say, Swedish basketball league, you cannot bet, I don't know, thousand American dollars per game because the limits are much smaller. So you need to have smaller bankroll. This is the first thing, right? If you bet baseball, for example, if you bet NBA, if you bet NFL, you can have much bigger bankroll. You can bet 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 American dollars on a single game. This can be your unit, and you don't need to make a lot of units during the season. You can make, I don't know, you can make 20, 30, 40 units in half year, or in one year. If you can make 50 units with bigger sports, that's 50k or 100k if your unit is 1,000 American dollars or 2,000 American dollars, and this is serious money, right? If you can do this, but if you play smaller markets, if your bankroll is smaller, of course you need to adjust this as well. Okay, and for example, with NHL, this is more as a challenge, so it is recommended to have a tiny bankroll. But with the sports where you have more advantage, of course, it is recommended to have bigger bankroll. But this is just my way. This is what helped me in the past, so I know exactly where I have the edge, where I have the most experience. I also have different betting models, different spreadsheets. The goal is always the same, to find positive expected value bets. So I calculate my own spreads, probabilities, and then I compare with bookmakers' lines. But of course, some markets are harder to beat. Some are easier to beat, or if you like, some of my betting models are much better against some markets than the rest, and some markets I still need to work a little bit on the betting model. This is how it is. But most important thing when it comes in sports betting, at least this is what I saw from the best students, is that you understand the concepts of betting, understand the concepts of spreadsheets, understand the concept of probability, the concept of the odds, and then you can find your own way. You don't need to follow exactly NBA or NFL or whatever. I always say that the best way is to find your way and your market. So the first step would be learn the basics, learn the spreadsheets, learn the probabilities, learn how to build a sports betting model, and then research markets. You can take, I don't know, 3 months, half year, or whatever, because after that you can set a system which can bring money for a lifetime. Okay, you don't need to be an expert for every single sport, because this is not possible. Okay, and after baseball, I will still decide if I will share and how I will share this space. But after the baseball, I will uh, share for free only one market, because it takes a lot of attention, a lot of focus elsewhere. But as I said a couple of times in the past, usually I have one main sport at the time, or maybe two, maximum two, and then usually I work on a site with some other market. So this is, for example, building a new betting model, or improving the one that is still not good. For example, NHL, and this is how you, how I do this for years. So usually I have one or two markets, main markets, which can bring money, and then at the same time you work on some other market, building a betting model, and then once you see that it shows results, then you can include later or make some extra units and so on. Okay, this is just my way, but there are different ways how to make money from sports betting, and as I mentioned a couple of times in my videos, there are basically four main strategies to make money. First is arbitrage. All have pros and cons. Arbitrage, steam betting, comparing soft and sharp lines. This is something most bettors do right now. Odds Jam, for example, you have services, so you don't become a betting expert. You're just comparing Pinnacle lines with soft lines, because at Pinnacle or Circa, or those sharp bookmakers, there are sharp players who move the line, and those sharp bookmakers accept their action, right? And what most handicappers or most bettors, what they do right now, they simply follow their action. So they follow Pinnacle lines or Circle lines, and then compare with soft bookmakers. And if there is discrepancy, they bet, right? But the last thing which I do are sports betting models. Okay, so this is what I believe every sports bettor should look at the end, because at some point you will exhaust sportsbook bonuses, arbitrage, soft bookmakers will limit you. The same with comparing soft and sharp lines. But a true sports betting expert or sports betting analyst is someone who can make crunch numbers and make his own predictions with probabilities, with spreads, and compare and actually play with Pinnacle or Circa or those sharp bookmakers. So you want to be at some point that guy, so that others follow you, or right. And all my spreadsheets, since I started with my website since 2017, or even before I started sharing peaks, projections, and everything, because 2015, 2016, every single betting model, every single projection, every single calculation was always against Pinnacle odds, and I am tracking my betting models results against Pinnacle closing lines. Okay, so you see those positive closing line numbers against taken and closing both Pinnacle lines, right? So not manipulating with soft lines. Okay, and I believe that this is the last stage where one sports bettor wants to be. Okay, and this is something I teach and I show my projections. Okay, and with NBA, so far very good. Okay, so let's go to today's projection. I don't know why I talked about this, but sometimes I got the idea and then I keep talking. But anyway, what I want to do, I want to be a little bit more structured with my videos. So I'm thinking to share the videos every day at the same time. So I will think about, maybe it will be set as a premiere or a live video or something like that. And I'm thinking about six in my time. This is in USA. 1 p.m., 12 a.m., I think, something like that. This is 1 hour before first baseball game starts. And I want to have some structure so that the videos will be at the same time every day. And those who wants to get my projections, early projections, of course, they can always join our betting masterclass or download betting model and calculates the lines, which I believe is the final goal. Okay. So let's go to today's projections. As I said yesterday, one bet, one win, and today I have also one bet. But let's go quickly through all the numbers. Denver Nuggets against Indiana Pacers. My line, my projected line from my betting model +4 on Indiana. This is something you see here. Those are my lines because it says projected, right? So this is what my betting model projects, and this is bookmaker spread, okay? Pinnacle spreads, and there is basically no difference, small difference. I am looking for right now at least 3 point difference. In the past, as I said, I was looking for 7 point difference, then I lowered to 5, and right now the betting model is doing pretty well, and I'm looking for 3 point difference, which is much closer. But I also need to pay much more attention to the lineups. So I check different sites, game time decision players, questionable players. Then I reproject with different players to see the potential spreads, and then I of course calculate my lines, okay, and compare with bookmakers lines. So in the first game I don't see any value. The second game, New York Knicks against Brooklyn Nets, based on my projections, Brooklyn should be small underdog at home, but I have them at +2, bookmakers +5. Because of that, I have small value with Brooklyn +5. This is the only qualified bet today. I think New York Knicks, they also have one questionable player. So if he will not play, I think this will be even better for my analysis. Utah Jazz Pelicans, no value. I have Pelicans at -7.5, bookmakers -6.5. The total is the same. For the totals, I'm looking right now for 7 point difference. In the past, I was not focusing that much on totals. And if I found 10 points difference or more, and if we check totals are 2016, and even better closing line numbers. So those are closing line value numbers against no weak pinnacle odds. So this is pretty good result, right? And I didn't find a value here in this game. And the last game, Los Angeles Lakers against Clippers. Based on my projections, Clippers should be -8.5, bookmakers -8.5. There, so as you see, my spread and bookmaker spread is the same. And when we check the totals are also very similar. LeBron James is not playing. I don't have him in the lineup. If he's playing, I think Clippers should be +5 or +4, something like that. I can reproject this in my betting model, but at this moment there is no value. So the only qualified bet, Brooklyn Nets +5. This is my qualified bet. But if the line drops to +4.5, this is not a value anymore. Okay, +5 or better. Okay, so that's it from me today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.